Hi, my name is EJ Massa. Thanksgiving, a wonderful American holiday. And if it was up to Ben Franklin, the turkey would be the national bird. And I don't think anyone would disagree that McDonald's is almost the international symbol of America. When you're traveling abroad and feeling homesick, you can see those golden arches and you can step in and instantly feel at home. If only there was someone who could combine these two symbols of America. It's me. I'm brave. I got this idea after watching Sous Vide Everything's video on compound butters and steak. Their Big Mac butter especially intrigued me. And I have a recipe for turkey that involves injecting an herb-infused butter into the turkey. And that led to this incredibly stupid thought. What if I took that Big Mac compound butter and injected it into a turkey? And I couldn't stop thinking about that stupid thought. I just kept thinking about it and thinking about it. And that's how an EJ Cooks video is born. The turkey I got is a frozen 15-pound butterball turkey. Now, I did order an organic, fresh turkey from Instacart, but the Instacart person got me a frozen butterball. But that's okay. Butterball is pretty much the McDonald's of turkeys. I thawed out the turkey in a cooler of water with a water circulator running. It took around 10 hours to thaw. Now for the other big ingredient, I DoorDashed some Big Macs. DoorDash, Instacart, look, there's a pandemic out there, so I'm gonna make people who economically have no choice bring me food. That's okay, I'm doing experiments for the betterment of society, and they should be grateful. Oh, that McDonald's smell is so distinct. There's nothing like it. Definitely doesn't look like the stock photo, but it still looks good to me. Okay, I gotta have a bite of that. I have a confession. I've actually never had a Big Mac before. I've of course had a ton of McDonald's. I've had, the 2 cheeseburger meal. That's one of my favorites. I love a good quarter pounder with cheese. McDouble. Everyone's had a good McDouble. But I've never had a Big Mac. I think the piece of bread in the middle has always been a little intimidating to me. And I just never done it. So here we go. You are going to see my first taste of a Big Mac. I personally would rather have a quarter pounder with cheese or just the regular cheeseburger. This is like there's too much bread in the middle. I don't know what that adds to the experience. It's good though. I mean, McDonald's is always good. I can see why it's one of the most popular sandwiches on the planet. Let's see what happens when we make some butter with it. I melted 2 sticks of butter on my stovetop, pour that into my Vitamix blender, then I'll cut the Big Mac into a few chunks. Here's a quick cross-section for people on YouTube who like to see cross-sections for some reason. And into the butter it goes. Turn this sucker on and I think I'm gonna need a little more butter, so I poured in another melted stick, and that seemed like a good solid to liquid ratio. And that doesn't look appetizing. But I can't look away. My eyes are just fixed on this vortex of junk food. I'm getting sucked in! I poured that in a jar and I'll use that in the next steps. I'll season the turkey simply with a little salt and pepper. Don't want to go too heavy on the salt because Butterball does pre-brine these birds. Also, I'll inject it with McDonald's soon, and there's plenty of salt in there. Now to make the injection, I'll take 1 can of turkey broth and pour it into a saucepan and add less than half of my butter mixture I just made. I heat it until it's just melted, and then I'll fill my syringe up for injection. Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. I injected that mixture into a few spots in the breast and the legs and thighs. Next, I'll take the rest of the Big Mac butter and slather it on. It kind of reminds me of peanut butter, and that's very disturbing. And the smells going on right now are wrong on so many levels, but I must persist. For science reasons, I put the turkey on a roasting pan, and then I'll add aromatics into the turkey cavity. Some people put lemons in the cavity of the turkey for aromatics. Some people use herbs. But I'm a serious YouTube chef, so I only use the most serious of ingredients. So I stuffed some French fries in its butt, and a Big Mac too. Doesn't that look scrumptious? It definitely doesn't look like a Lovecrafty and unspeakable horror. I preheated the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. For those of you who don't know and might be confused, an oven is sort of like an indoor grill. Crazy, I know. I put it in the oven and what the hell am I doing with my life? The smell of it cooking is so bizarre. It smells like I'm making ham and cheese croissants. But I'm not making ham and cheese croissants. I'm making a turkey. An hour in and I basted it with melted Big Mac butter. Why am I getting heart palpitations? My heart hurts a lot from cooking this. Why am I getting heart palpitations? 2 hours later and the legs are done, but the breast hadn't come up to temperature yet, which I like around 155 degrees Fahrenheit. A total of 3 hours later and the turkey is finished. And my burger and fry aromatics, they look quite pathetic. Should I try one? No. It's best I don't. Should I try it? But the skin itself looks delightfully crispy. Now for the most important part, the gravy. You do not give up on the gravy.
See, a lot of people give up on the gravy. You cannot give up on the gravy.
In the bottom of the roasting pan, I got rid of some of the big goop that dripped in there, and then I poured in a cup of wine to deglaze, whisked that with my tiny whisk, and then added in the leftover injection, which was that butter broth mixture that I made, and then I whisked and reduced that liquid. I figured I didn't need any flour because the butter mixture already had some burger bun in it. And that's like a starch. I used a gravy separator thing to strain the bigger bits, and then I carved myself a big old turkey leg and some turkey breast to taste. I think I'll start off with this crispy looking leg of turkey. I will say, it does have very crispy skin. I wonder if that's from the bread and the cheese crisping up in the oven along with the butter. It looks very crispy. Let's see how this is. Let me smell it first. It smells like turkey. That's probably the best crispy skin I've gotten on a turkey in a long time. McDonald's really did it. I'm not getting a lot of Big Mac. It's a very strong turkey. I think it's probably because of all the sodium. But the skin is really good. I'm gonna get some more of that. I'll try a little bit of the breast, and then I'll try a little bit of the breast with some gravy. So here's the breast without gravy. That's really flavorful. That's really good. It's juicy. It doesn't taste like McDonald's, but it tastes really good. Wow. It's like every turkey breast I've ever had, I wish tastes like this turkey breast. That's really good. I can't believe it. Almost like a fried turkey. And maybe because of all those McDonald's ingredients, it tastes like a fried turkey. Wow. And there's some turkey breast skin. I'm going to have that. Oh, I get a little bit of the cheesiness on the breast skin. Oh, that's good. This is a success. Now the great gravy. Let's do it. A pretty deep flavor. I think the breast by itself is good enough. It's flavorful enough. It's juicy enough. It doesn't even need the gravy. The gravy is good. I'm going to try the gravy alone because I wasn't sure how much of what I was tasting with the gravy on the turkey breast was the breast itself, which was already fantastic and juicy. And what was the gravy? So I'm going to drink the gravy. I'm making a lot of good choices in this world. One of the more unique gravies I've ever made. You can taste the remnants of the wine, It's a complex. It's complex. There's almost like a caramelly richness to it. It sings. McDonald's is a magical ingredient. I recommend you do this. I don't know if I do. I do. I recommend you do this. Usually I butterfly my turkeys and that allows the legs and the breast to cook more evenly together, but I had to do the gag where I stuffed burgers and fries into the cavity. I had to. It was very important I do so. So the legs were overcooked and weren't as juicy and perfect as the breast, but the visual gag was worth it, right? And as I had a little bit more of the turkey and kept eating it, I could pick up a little bit of the pickle notes and the cheesy notes, and it did make the turkey overall better. I'm shocked, and I've never gotten crispy skin like that before. I think it was because of the bread and the butter and the cheese mixed in there, all smeared on the surface. I think that really did the job. Look, McDonald's has spent decades perfecting their food, engineering it so humans find it irresistible. So if I grind it up, mix it with butter, and inject it into anything, it's gonna be absolutely amazing. And my experiment today proves it. I deserve a reward. I've advanced science. I have made the world objectively better. I'm important. I thought I was making jokey mutant food to entertain strangers on the internet, but it turns out I made something wonderful. If I were to honestly diagnose what happened here, I'd say that I injected enough butter into the turkey to make anything taste good. The butter balls themselves are brined in a chemical slurry to make them semi-idiot proof, and then the sodium in the McDonald's basically put it over the top. But hey, it worked. And I could even say, I'm loving it. Until next time, bye!